If you guys want to be with a chance to win both the next generation consoles, then make sure you click the link in the description box down below to enter the Arekkz Gaming Stream Team giveaway. Yo, what's going on guys? Arekkz here, welcome back to another video for Monster Hunter Rise, and in this one it's going to be a quick update with some more news from the kind of recent Twitter updates. There's been a new little video that showed off some of the Palamute armor sets, which look incredibly cool, and also confirmation on the return of the scrap system. Plus, over on the official Monster Hunter Rise Facebook account, they have been periodically doing some interviews with the development team, and the most recent one has a couple of additional things just worth touching on. So in the event you guys missed it, then here is what you need to know. Of course, if you do enjoy this, do find it helpful, then a like would be super appreciated, and as always, make sure you stick around because I'll be keeping you guys bang up to date on all things Rise. So, starting off with this little social video that went live the other day, dropped on both Instagram and Twitter, and this one shows off some of the Palamute armor sets. Of course, we've seen armor sets for the new monsters they've shown, we've seen things for like Tetranodon, for Great Izuchi, and of course for Aknosom, but now they've shown what it looks like for the Rathalos gear, the Arzuros gear, the Rathian gear, and also what I believe to be like the base iron armor set, or whether they call it Tatara steel based on the kind of, you know, the steel that is exclusive to that particular village, will of course remain to be seen. But either way, they all look pretty cool. And of course, alongside that came the information that the scrap system will be making a return. For those of you guys that have played previous Monster Hunter games, you know that, outside of World and Iceborne, if you look back to things like Generations, then they basically had a scrap system whereby when you're crafting armor, you will then organically also create scraps in the process, which kind of makes sense in a logical way. You think about using materials and then you have a few things left over. Basically those scraps can then go towards making armor previously for your Palicos, but now your Palicos and your Palamutes. Of course, assuming it works in a similar way to the previous games, there'll probably also be ways where you can just convert materials into scraps if you specifically want to create that armor, but they basically just confirm that that system is making a return. So of course, as you're working towards building your own gear, you'll also, organically obtain items that you can use to craft gear for your companions, which is kind of handy. Now, outside of that, we then have this fun little image here, which of course represents the interview they had over on the Facebook page. And for the most part, they kind of touch on things that we've already heard. They talk about the reception to the game, how they're sort of really pleased that people are excited for it. They said they're super pleased with the global reaction to the Palamutes, the fact that, of course, this new companion, these friendly little doggos, everyone seems to really love them, which, what is not to like? I mean, previously we had cats, now we have cats and dogs. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody should be happy now. But anyway, that aside, they said they're super pleased with the reception to the Palamutes. They did, of course, also say they have several maps to show off. Right now, everything they've done has been in the Shrine map, which of course does look incredibly cool, but I do feel like it's interesting. Historically, they always seem to show off these foresty maps to begin with, and forest maps just have this weird way of just not looking as exciting as other ones. They tend to have that sort of bland color palette to them. I never know why they decide to start with them, but either way, they said they have plenty more maps to show off, and they said that some of those maps may even make players feel nostalgic. So that could well hint at, the return of some maps that we have been familiar with in the past, alongside some new ones. I'm just definitely excited to sort of see different biomes. I really hope we do get a snowy map, because I just love snowy maps. Let me have it. Outside of that, they do of course say they have more mechanics to show off, things they have not yet shown. Quite whether we'll get to see them soon, again, remains to be seen. Keep in mind we are getting closer and closer to Christmas, so I feel like, the chance of getting too much new information before the end of the year is probably getting slimmer by the day. That being said, there might still be a few more news drops here and there, but I do expect the next big content drop will probably be in the new year. However, they did say there are new mechanics to show off. They've of course also said in the past, in previous interviews, that mounting is ever so slightly different this time, and they plan to speak more about that at a later date, so that could of course be one of those systems. And then somebody also asked in the questions whether quests will all have time limits, and they did say that there will of course, in the standard traditional Monster Hunter format, quests will be timed, but they said there will be some quests that have no time limits that allow you to just enjoy exploring and collecting things around the world. Again, probably in a similar manner to how we've experienced it in previous games. Sometimes you can complete it, and then instead of just going straight back, you can then just roam around and explore to your heart's content, because obviously they've got a lot of endemic life, lots of things to find and dig up in the maps, so there's definitely going to be that aspect to the game. But for the time being, that is your quick update on Rise news that dropped recently. Again, as and when we find out more information, I'll keep you guys up to date. But for the time being, that's your lot. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed that video. Don't forget, if you haven't already done so, you can join the Arekkz Gaming Discord. We've got an awesome community over there with so many different channels for you to chat loads of different topics and different games. I'm in there, the team's in there. If you guys want to chat with us, find people to play with, it's just in general a great place to be. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to turn on those notifications so you don't miss any of our future uploads.